Hello folks, Simon here, welcome back to the channel and to our next Final Fantasy VII new threat, I was going to say remake then, but not quite, new threat 2.0 video. So today we're going to be battling against Reno for the first time, and this is the fight that takes place in the iconic location right at the top of the pillar, or one of the pillars, here in Midgar. Now, in the original Final Fantasy VII, this was a fun fight, but as with many boss battles in the original game, was perhaps a little undertuned, not really that much of a challenge. Now, Reno did have that interesting mechanic, which did confuse me as a kid, I'll be honest with you, back in the 90s, where he would make a party member enclosed in a pyramid, and if all three party members receive this status effect, then that would effectively be a game over. It took me a few attempts back in the day to figure out that you could attack that pyramid in order to destroy it. We take that for granted now, we all know about it. But back then, before strategy guides, before the internet and whatnot, you know, at least for me, it did take a few attempts to figure that out. But anyway, here we go. The fight itself is, in effect, pretty much exactly the same. Some of the ability names have been changed, and Reno has had a few buffs. But all in all, you know, compared to some of the other previous boss fights, this one perhaps has not had that many changes to it in this mod compared to some of those others. So in terms of raw stats, Reno here is going to be a level 17 foe with 2,360 HP, which is quite a change. I believe in the original he had just exactly 1,000, so more than double HP. And of course his attacks will be doing more damage. He can drop an ether, or you can instead might prefer to steal the bolt plume. But as with all drops and steals, you can only have one or the other. Now, in terms of the weaknesses and resistances that Reno has, he's weak to poison and also to bolt, and he's resistant, in fact, to bolt. So don't bother bringing too much lightning to this fight, as it's not going to help you all that much. Apart from gravity, all of your other magics should hit him normally. However, I've always historically fought Reno just by using physical attacks, and to be honest with you, I see no reason to change that strategy here in this mod. Okay, so the pyramid ability from the original Final Fantasy VII that Reno used has now been renamed to Interrocage, but for all intents and purposes it's pretty much the same thing, with one difference. In the original game, you could tend to break a party member out of the pyramid status effect with a single attack, even a weak attack, whereas what I've noticed here is that the pyramid itself does seem to have quite a bit more health, and does require, in my experience here in this battle, about 2 fairly strong physical attacks in order to free the person that's been afflicted by it. And don't forget, it is worth doing this, it is worth staying on top of those pyramids, or interrocages as they are known here, because if all 3 party members are afflicted by it, you will get a game over. Now, you could sort of brute force your way through the fight in the original game, and in fact my first time beating Reno was before I even found out you could destroy those pyramids, and I still managed to do it with 1 party member left standing. Because of his extra HP in the lengthier battle, that's not really going to be possible here. But on top of his signature ability, Reno also retains his other original abilities, including the general clout that he just catches you with that doesn't have a name with his rod. And also, I think it's Electroprod is his other main ability, which does, you know, inflict some nasty damage, just be aware of that. But other than that, the fight hasn't changed too much. It is really those buff stats that do just prolong the encounter and just make sure that, you know, you are staying on top of healing. Since Reno's by himself, you can use that all materia that we have access to for the cure spell, so you can at least get 1 area of effect healing. You're unlikely to have all raised level 2 by this point. And as you can see here, limit breaks are also going to be your friend. One of the, you know, pretty cool side effects, I guess, of the new threat mod is that because of the extra additional damage that we're taking as a party, we are going to be casting limit breaks a little bit more often. But there we have it then, guys. So persevere and you shall get through the first boss fight against the Turks without too much trouble and collect your rewards, which in this case is 500 experience, a bunch of AP, some gil, and if you didn't steal, you'll get an ether. But for the majority of you, I expect you'll want that bolt plume instead. Okay then, so the next section of the game, which is where we escape from the pillar, make our way back through Wall Market and start climbing our way towards the Shinra building, is going to play out pretty much the same way as it did in the original game. There are some very minor differences, such as the fact that the batteries that you need to purchase are now free, as opposed to, I think it was 100 gil previously. And that's about it, to be honest with you. So I'm not going to cover that section since I've done it multiple times on the channel. And you can check out my previous Final Fantasy VII walkthrough if you need a guiding hand with that. But once we get to the Shinra building, things are going to become interesting once again. And yeah, let's just say I was surprised a few times. So I hope you guys will stay with me and check back on the next video where we'll be having a look at one of those surprises. But don't forget also, you can keep up with me live as I'm playing through Final Fantasy VII New Threat 2.0 over at Twitch. That's my twitch.tv/fuzzfinger channel. So I am streaming a couple of times a week, 2:30 PM UK time, and we do have quite a bit of banter in chat. We have a lot of fun. And, you know, you guys are helping me through this game as well, since this is really my first time playing New Threat 2.0, even though we are doing absolutely everything that we can do. Anyway, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for stopping by today, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.